Batman, welcome to our home. I'm pleased you accepted my invitation despite the obvious macabre aesthetic. Most people find our decor unsettling. How is life in Gotham treating you? I've been reading about your work in the newspapers. Fighting human monsters must be refreshing compared to my experiences with actual supernatural entities. Would you like some nightshade tea? It's not poisonous to most people, usually. How's your mental state holding up?
Your mansion is impressive. Reminds me of Wayne Manor's older wings. Alfred would appreciate the Gothic architecture. I'll pass on the tea, but thank you for the offer. Gotham keeps me busy with human criminals mostly, though I've dealt with supernatural threats occasionally. Your experience with the genuinely paranormal is exactly why I'm here. I need perspective from someone who treats the occult as normal everyday reality rather than psychological aberration.
The occult is normal reality. People just pretend otherwise because acknowledging it causes existential discomfort. I've been studying demonology, necromancy, and various dark arts since I was 6 years old. My family has extensive connections to the supernatural world. What specific paranormal threat requires consultation with someone of my particular expertise? I assume this involves something beyond your usual detective work and gadgetry. What darkness has Gotham encountered now?
A demon called Valac that takes the form of a nun. It's been appearing in Gotham near abandoned churches and religious sites. Valac feeds on fear and corrupts sacred places. 3 priests have died already, and several civilians have been hospitalized with severe psychological trauma. This entity is ancient, predating Christianity itself. It uses the nun disguise to mock faith and create maximum terror. I can't punch a demon. I need a strategy that accounts for supernatural rules.
Valac the Defiler. I've read about it in my family's collection of demonic texts. It's a particularly nasty entity, one of the 72 demons from the Ars Goetia. The nun form is intentionally blasphemous, designed to corrupt religious symbolism and shatter people's faith. That's how it gains power. Fear and despair feed it. The more terrified and faithless its victims become, the stronger Valac grows. Traditional religious defenses only work if the person wielding them has genuine, unshakable faith.
That's the problem. Most people's faith isn't strong enough to resist Valac directly. The demon knows this and exploits it. Priests who confronted it died because their faith wavered when faced with genuine supernatural evil. Their doubt became their weakness. I've been researching exorcism protocols and protective rituals, but everything requires belief I don't have. I operate on evidence and logic, not faith. How do you fight something that requires the one weapon I don't possess?
Faith isn't the only weapon against demons. That's religious propaganda. Demons follow rules, cosmic laws they can't break. Valac is bound by specific limitations like all demons from the Goetia. It can only manifest where faith has been weakened or corrupted. It needs invitation, either through ritual summoning or through someone's fear opening a doorway. If we remove those conditions, Valac can't maintain presence in our dimension. We close the doorways it's using.
Closing doorways sounds more achievable than developing sudden religious faith. How do we identify which locations are serving as doorways? Valak's been appearing at multiple abandoned churches across Gotham. Are all of them doorways or just specific ones? And what constitutes closing a doorway in practical terms? Do we need elaborate rituals, or is there a more direct method? I prefer solutions that don't require extensive ceremonial preparation.
The doorways aren't the buildings themselves, they're people. Valac enters our world through individuals who've lost faith and are consumed by fear. Those people become anchors for its manifestation. Find the anchors, sever Valak's connection to them, and the demon loses its ability to remain here. This requires identifying who in Gotham has been spiritually compromised by encountering Valac. People who survived its attacks but came away broken. They're unknowingly hosting its presence.
Let's get Robin's input.
Valac disguises itself as a nun because it inverts the concept of protection and sanctuary. Nuns are supposed to be safe, nurturing figures. Making people fear that symbol creates deep psychological damage. But the disguise also reveals Valak's limitation. It can only take forms that corrupt existing symbols. It can't create entirely original manifestations. That means it's parasitic, dependent on human concepts and fears. If we introduce a symbol it can't corrupt or doesn't understand, it loses power.
Robin's analysis is accurate. Valac is parasitic on human religious symbolism and cultural fears. It's ancient but not creative. Introducing unfamiliar symbols or concepts that fall outside traditional religious frameworks would confuse it. The demon operates on fear of the familiar twisted into horror. Give it something completely alien to its understanding, and it can't adapt. What kind of symbol exists outside religious contexts that Valac couldn't corrupt? That's the challenge.
What about scientific symbols? Mathematical constants, chemical formulas, things representing logic and evidence rather than faith or fear. Valac feeds on corrupting belief systems. Pure mathematics doesn't require belief, it simply exists as fact. 2 plus 2 equals 4 regardless of faith or fear. If we surround the compromised individuals with symbols of absolute logical certainty, Valac can't corrupt them because there's nothing to twist into horror. Numbers don't fear.
Using logic as a weapon against a demon of faith corruption. That's beautifully ironic and might actually work. Valac has likely never encountered resistance based on pure rationality, because most people fighting demons use religious methods. Mathematical constants and scientific principles exist independent of human emotion. The demon can't feed on them or twist them. But we'd need to create a physical space saturated with these symbols, a sanctuary of logic instead of faith.
Master Bruce, Miss Addams, I've been monitoring your discussion with growing concern. You're proposing to fight an ancient demon using mathematics and science as protective symbols. While I appreciate the creative thinking, demons have existed far longer than human scientific understanding. What makes you certain Valac won't simply ignore your logical symbols? It seems presumptuous to assume modern rationality can overcome primordial evil that predates civilization itself.
Alfred's skepticism is noted, but we're not claiming science is stronger than Valac. We're using the demon's own limitations against it. Valac can only corrupt what it understands. Religious symbols, human fears, cultural concepts. Pure mathematics and physics are outside its operational framework. We create a space so saturated with logical certainty that there's nothing for Valac to grab onto. The compromised individuals stay in that space until Valac's connection weakens and breaks completely.
Sanctuary of logic surrounded by equations and scientific constants. I find the concept aesthetically displeasing, but tactically sound. My family can provide the necessary demonological expertise to identify the compromised individuals serving as Valac's anchors. You provide the scientific symbols and the secure space. Together we sever the demon's connection to our dimension. Once the anchors are cleared, Valac returns to whatever hell dimension spawned it. This could work, Batman. Let's banish a demon with mathematics and rationality.